Hey guys, this is Rizdeb again. Sorry about the recent lack of videos. I've been kind of busy with school starting and such. But now I'm finally able to show you how to solve the centers of a supercube. And a supercube is basically just a Rubik's cube with colors on the faces, or an odd turning axis. Because technically the Fisher cube is a 3x3. Just it has a mechanism at an odd angle, and not all pieces look like what they actually are. So if you do a little experimentation, you'll find out that these pieces are the centers. Now, even though this tutorial shows how to solve those pieces of a Fisher cube, this is not intended to be a complete tutorial for the Fisher cube. For a complete tutorial, please click on this annotation. If you don't see an annotation, it means I haven't made one yet. But once I finish making it, there will be an annotation there. Okay, so now let's get started on how to solve the centers. First of all, you need to know how to solve a Rubik's cube, obviously. And some methods involve solving the centers after you finish solving the cube. But the method I use solves the centers while you're still solving the cube. Okay, so first of all, if the supercube has 4 centers that need to be oriented correctly, like the Fisher cube, 1, 2, 3, 4, always start solving it from one of the centers that does not need to be oriented correctly. So in this case, this one or this one. If it has 5 centers that need to be oriented correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, always start solving it from the center opposite the one that does not need to be oriented. And if it has all 6, I normally just start out with the one with the opposite, with the one that has a easy visible orientation. Now the 6 center one, you can start with any center, but the 4 and 5 are recommended that you start with a center opposite to a center that does not need to be oriented. If you do not do this, you may have a problem with the last center. Okay, so now let's get on to how to solve them. Now, first of all, I'm going to be starting off with this one. So let's see. When you get an edge into the D layer, make sure that the center is oriented the same as it is on the edge. If it's not, get the edge out of the way, and then rotate the center's layer until it's oriented the same as on the edge. Then rotate the edge back and do one move. F or F prime, it doesn't matter. So then you can see which way this one needs to be oriented. So then orient it correctly and bring that up. So then you do the same with all the other edges except for the top one. So this one needs to be rotated. So I rotate it and bring it back, and now it's correct. So then you do the same with all the other edges except for the top one. If you have a flipped edge like this, I noted in the tutorial that there are 2 algorithms you can use to flip an edge. Now there are 2 simple algorithms you can do to fix this. F prime U L prime U prime, F prime L D L prime F2. But for this one, you always need to do F prime L D L prime F2, because if you don't, it messes up the other centers. In this one, it just messes up this center, but that's easily fixable. Okay. Now, if you have a 6-centered cube, you should have another center that needs to be oriented. If you have a 4 or 5-centered cube, you should not have this problem. This is why I recommended starting with a center opposite a non-oriented center. But if you once you finish solving the edges and all they're solved, but the center is not oriented correctly, then you need then do the algorithm you did to solve this, which is R U R prime U R U2 R prime U. It'll keep 2 of them in alignment, but it'll mess up. It'll move these 2, but when you do the algorithm again, the top center was perfectly oriented. I figured that out myself. It took a while, but I finally figured it out. So, yeah. If it was not oriented the first time, it will be oriented the second time. I can guarantee it. Unless, of course, any of these are incorrect. But right now, they're all correct. So, now that one is correct. So that wasn't too hard, was it? So with that method, you can solve the centers of a supercube like that. Well, see you later, everybody. That's RizDub once again. And good luck on the Rubik's Cube.